How's it going, guys? And welcome back to my channel. For some time now, I've been thinking about replacing my 7200 f4 from Sony, which I really like. Of course, it's not the GM. Everyone has the GM. I'm not rich enough to own the GM, and I don't really need it. I use this mostly for hiking and landscapes. I really enjoy telephoto landscapes, and this lends itself to that purpose much better than the GM for me because it's lighter, half the size, half the weight, and half the price, and 97% as good and sharp, especially for landscape and what I do. I've been debating selling it and buying a Sigma 100-400, but before I make that transition, I thought I would take an old legacy lens, a 400mm, and see how I enjoyed the focal length and if I should sell the Sony to buy a newer modern 400mm lens. So I bought myself a €75 Vivitar 400 f5.6. which, as we will see, is a pretty good lens. So I wanted to just do a rundown on it, let's talk about some features of the lens, and then have a look, pixel peep a little bit, and have a look at the sharpness, contrast, and see how the actual image performance is from it. So let's take a closer look. So like with most older legacy lenses, the thing is built like a tank. It's all metal construction, very heavy, really well made. It has an amazing cinema style lens cap that doesn't have a thread or a clip. Just pops on with like a velvet lining, has an amazing built-in lens hood, again all metal, full metal lens rear mount, no sticking iris, very smooth aperture control. This was very nice to find a good condition iris like this. The aperture is a clicky aperture. It's not declicked, but it's a very smooth clicky aperture. Not that that's going to help in video much, but it's better than a hard click. The focus throw is amazing. It is 330 degrees. It comes almost right the way back round. It's also worth mentioning that it has a proper hard stop at infinity, and this really is infinity. I know that I'm happy to lock it back to infinity, and I know that I'm there. Also it comes with a lens collar, which is very smooth rotating, which is really good for rotating the camera around. You just tighten it back up with a screw, and lens cap just pops back on. That's about it. Very nicely made and handling lens. So let's take a closer look at some of the images I got from this lens on this little test shoot I was doing. So I've worked my way down the aperture range. At the moment, both of these shots are 5.6. The left side is going to be the reference. This will stay the same at 5.6. This is 100% crop, and as we can see, there's quite a lot of chromatic aberration around the edge of the window where you'd expect to see it between the contrasts. Let's stop down to f8 on the right side. Considerably better, not perfect, definitely sharper with less aberrations as you'd expect to see. f11, why is it all the way up there? f11's got really good, much sharper. CA is all but gone, even on these fence posts at the bottom. Look at this left side. Look at all this fringing here, and here is mostly gone. Let's take a look at the roof. And the window is the window at the top of the roller here. Lots of color fringing on the when it's wide open. And f11 is much better. So f16 as good as it's going to get, I think. f22. So obviously like white balance shifts because the sun was coming in and out. And all the way to f32. Gets really small, this diaphragm. Okay, so now I've got the extender on. Left side is a reference at f8, which is as wide as it'll be with the extender because we're losing 2 stops. 5.6 becomes an 8, which is normal. What's not normal is how useless that extender is and how unsharp the image is and how badly fringing it is. Stop down to f11 for a little bit of an improvement. Quite a bit of, still bad, but quite a bit of improvement, to be honest. Let's try f16. I think this is about as good as it's going to get. Yeah, still getting fringing everywhere, but it's better. 22. Oh no, fringing is gone. Sharpness is better. So at f22 with the extender on, I would say that is acceptably sharp. And at f32, start to lose it a little bit. Let me compare 22 and 32. Eight, 11, 16, 22, 32. No, I would say 32 is better. So completely stop down with zero light coming in. I think this was a 3-second exposure in the day at 100 ISO. It's somewhat usable. So I made this review mainly because when I was looking to buy a 400mm legacy lens, I couldn't really find any decent reviews covering sharpness, build quality from any given lens. I'm quite interested in legacy lenses. I think they're really cool. They are very cheap, very affordable, and fun to use. And you can sort of buy them and sell them without too much loss because they're old and they've already lost as much money as they're going to lose. If anything, they'll start gaining money at some point. So I have a few other legacy lenses, which I'm considering doing a little review series through. So if you enjoyed this one, hit subscribe and I'll see you in the next one.